Shalom everyone. It's Saturday evening and a little bit of humor. I thought it was Sunday evening today. I had made a mistake in the days. Well, I've been a bit busy few past days, so probably it's because of that. But anyway, I want to talk with you about well, I don't know how to give it a title, so I'll just begin speaking about it. Look, this country where I'm in at the moment, the Netherlands, people have a rhythm. They wake up at 6 o'clock, and they wake up at 6. They're at work around 10. They have lunch at 12. They have to dine as a family at the table at 6. And they have to be in bed around 10 o'clock. Now, I'm not saying absolutely everyone keeps this pattern, but this is the cultural pattern of this country, especially eating around 6 o'clock and lunching at 12. Well, you might say, Rashid, what are you talking about? Why are you bothered with it? I'm not bothered with it. There's just one thing I've noticed, that if you look at those times and you look behind the motivations why in the culture those times are set for people, you'll find out that.
That's the advantage.
Yeah.
Sorry. You'll find out that there's numerology behind it, and it all has to do with Hellenism. Well, waking at 6. Well, at 6, in numerology is also an X. An X is a 10. An X can be used as an abbreviation for Helios, or as an 10. It can also be pronounced as an Io. It refers to the sun god, the same entity. So you have the first 6. Then that's when they wake up. Then they are at work around 10. 10 is an X in Latin, and an X is also a reference to 6 in numerology. Then you have dining at 12. Dining at 6. There's also another 6, an X. And you have a lunch at 12. 6 plus 6 is 12. 2 6s over there. Double X. And then you have going to bed around 10 o'clock in the evening is another X. Now, some people may say, Rashid, you're losing it. No, I'm not losing it. See, because such are the things that program people's lives. And they're not even aware they're being programmed. Okay, for example, we use the Neo-Hellenistic calendar. January, February, March. It's all from Latin. Januarius, that was the first month of the year, named after the pagan god Janus. Janus is projected in statues as a two-faced demon, a demon with a young face and a demon with an old face. And what does the idol Janus represents? It represents renewal of economic relations. So in Januarius was the month that the Romans and Greeks and the elite within the Roman Empire, and also the elite outside the Roman Empire, would re-establish their business connections. Then you had Februarius, the month of the Februars. The Februars was a week. And in the month February has 28 days. It's a feminine month. Why? Because the menstrual cycle of a woman is around 28 days till 30 days. So they have a feminine month in which the theme of the month is to re-establish social order. And in the Greco-Roman world, women were not to be seen. In the city of Rome, the women had some influence, but they were still not considered full citizens. They had citizenship, but it was focused on men. And they had all kinds of strange rituals during that month, in the Februarius month. For example, you had politicians running naked through Rome with whips. They would slash. They would beat women that they would encounter. All kind of weird things. You can research it for yourself. Then you had Martius, that we call March. That's called after the pagan god Ares in Greek, and his name in Latin is Mars or Martius. And the biblical name is Magog also. This demon, they worshipped during that month. And why? Because during that month they would prepare for war. They would begin to threaten their foreign enemies. And the soldiers were prepared to march out. Then you had April, which was heading towards spring. So you would have small festivals at that time. Going all the way to July and August. August is called after Augustus. I should go here. Augustus is Latin for the Exalted One. Augustus was the title. It also became the name of the first Roman emperor, Gaius Octavius, or Gaius Octavianus. Now, why did they call that month? Hold on. Why did they call that month after the first Roman emperor? Because it is in that month it became a tradition that the veterans that returned from war, or let me say like this, the veterans were crowned with honor and military parades. It was also the month in which the battles after were over, and the soldiers returned back to their military bases, and also the month in which the military victories were celebrated. Now, when you think about it, before January you have December, the last month. That's when you have Saturnalia, in which the social order was disrupted as a ritual for about 2 weeks. That's where we get Christmas from. The day of January is re-established after midnight celebration at the witch hour. That's why you do fireworks. And is it so that around July and August, in academics, most of the students graduate, and that's the day after ceremony in September? All these things are not coincidence, people. The way of life, or I'm saying not way of life, the everyday life, or everyday patterns that most people are involved with today are derived from Hellenism, from the Greco-Roman world. And all those months have their ritualistic purpose. Even the days of the week have their ritualistic purpose. But people aren't aware of it, but they do walk out and live out those patterns and those prescriptions without asking why. So, hold on. So you understand now why I wanted to talk about this. I'm not accusing anyone of following the Greco-Roman, following the Roman calendar, which you have two forms of the Gregorian calendar and the Justinian calendar. But anyway, I'm not telling you to change your calendar. What I want to reveal to you is that people get involved in a lot of stuff and they never ask any questions. do your own research. I urge you, do your own research. Most of the patterns and traditions we hold on to are derived from paganism, and they are designed to worship idols, and they are basically designed to worship demons. But the reason we're not aware that they are designed to worship demons is because we were lied to about their meaning. Nobody told you the meaning of January, of February, of March. Nobody told you that. Or maybe you're an exception to the rule that someone did told you. But for most time we just adapt it because it's common. Well, again, I'm not making this video to cause any trouble or to accuse anyone. I just want you to be alert and to pay attention. Okay? That's why don't fear when the Lord messes things up in your life. Why? Because you were not designed to follow after the ways of the world. Because listen, everything in the world is a ritual. Let me repeat this. Everything in the world is a ritual. Everything in the world is designed as a ritual. The only reason why you're not aware of this, why you are not realizing this, is because you were blinded. You were blinded by your education, and you were blinded by the fake promises of the world. Everything in the world is a ritual. Even the standard patterns of when people wake up, when they lunch, or when they eat, even those things are rituals. And people begin to ask why they are depressed or why they feel dissatisfied in their life. Listen, you were never designed to live out a ritualistic existence. But that's what the world is, a ritualistic existence. It's not real life. And the longer you remain in the world, the longer you remain in the world, the more messed up you become. Because people become frozen in their mind with those ritualistic mind. People in the world, they get frozen the longer they live, they become frozen in those ritualistic patterns. And they can only think in terms of those ritualistic patterns. If you suggest anything to them that doesn't fall in some category that's ritualistic, they freak out, they act out, they become upset, they want to act out, to become violent. The Lord wants you free from all of that. So when you are praying for solutions in your life and things become worse, the Lord knows what He's doing. First of all, most of the problems that people face in their daily lives, and most of the sicknesses and most of the harm that people endure, are caused by holding on to ritualistic patterns. And yet people are fighting and fighting to preserve those ritualistic patterns without ever questioning them. Now, the Lord tells you to trust Him and lean not on your own understanding. So when the Lord is messing things up, I'll permit Him to mess things up. Don't try to fix and to clean up what the Lord has meant to throw away. Don't try to restore something God has ordained to pass. Listen, if God ordained something to collapse and to pass away, permit it to collapse and let it pass away. Don't try to restore something that the Lord did not ordain to be. That being said, you all, may the grace of Christ Jesus be with you. Enjoy, well, I would say enjoy your weekend, but anyway, be blessed.